Grand Rising, aloha, welcome back once again, friends, shifters, dreamers from all across this beautiful holographic matrix. This is Brendan, aka Wolf, welcoming you back to another Waking Up with Wolf to those of you who are watching this, and bonus points to those of you who are like jumping in like right off the start, making it live, and of course equal bonus points to those of you watching this in the future, whenever you get a chance. It's a beautiful age we live in which we are basically all essentially time travelers, and we can like fold time in on itself. So just wanted to note that apparently today's broadcast is not broadcasting across Facebook. There's a tech issue, but if you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram, please feel free to leave some comments. Let me know that you are here. So it is Friday. It is officially Valentine's Day +1. So how are we feeling? And what did we learn yesterday? What lessons can we continue? A lot of times when we think about Valentine's Day, as we were kind of talking about recently, you know, it is this opportunity to be able to practice self-love. And, hold on. Looks like okay, we're down to regular lighting today. That's okay. So again, in themes with Valentine's Day, how can we continue this? How can we continue to make this a part of our habit? How can we continue to make this a part of our routine? And as we're talking here again, just inviting you to start loosening up, shaking up the body. How can we reflect deeper on self-love? And this is a beautiful thing to think about. The idea that, you know, the lessons of self-love are a never-ending, not just path, but more so spiral. And I think like that's kind of like the important visual, is that like even within this life alone, you can always think that every single lesson that we go through, every single thing that we learn is evidently pointing us back to more self-love, even when it feels like it may not be. And that's kind of like what I feel is very important. So again, just massaging your neck, if you want to do that, massage anywhere you feel called to at this point. If you're already familiar with kind of the routine, just kind of, you know, listen to your body, massage your face. But again, you know, with the way that this life works, there's a deeper level of wisdom that we can tap into. And with this level of wisdom, it allows us to see things from a higher perspective of understanding that literally everything that happens to us is for us. And that's something that is not just an idea, but it's really something that we integrate through direct experience. And it's also something that we can adapt through a perspective, through the story that we are telling ourselves. So again, when there are things that may come up, and we've talked about this in similar ways, that may trigger us, what is the positive way in which we can look at this? How is this actually calling us into more of who we are? How is this actually teaching us more about our own virtues, more about our own values, more about our own standards that we may have for ourselves? So I just want us to be able to move through this day, reflect back on the week and the things that we have learned, but really moving forward with that deep understanding of training ourselves to look as to how everything is actually serving us. Again, you know, I've talked about this before, but basically, if you're looking at something and you're seeing it from a disempowering perspective, that just means that you're looking at it from a disempowering perspective. But equally so, you can look literally at any situation from an empowering perspective. You know, someone may break your heart. Something may happen that may not go to plan. And yet even still, that is teaching you about your own resilience. It is teaching you about your own flexibility. It is teaching you about your own self-worth. So these are very, very important things just to be able to keep in mind. So as we just kind of move into this, and again, we're going to be doing just a little body massage, and then we'll be getting into the chakra practice as well. I did just want to be able to, because I mentioned this during the last broadcast, I'm just bringing on camera. This is one of the crystal massage wands that I make, and I just want to be able to demonstrate how to use it. And, of course, be able to invite anybody who may be interested. Of course, these are available for purchase. There is kind of a limited supply, but you're welcome to send me a message. And eventually we'll also be putting them up individually on the Quest Item Shop at questitemshop.com. But these are super powerful for deep tissue massage. And so, again, it's basically a crystal with polymer clay, designed with intention. It's got, like, the spiral there for, you can think of it as, like, a literal wand for directing energy. It's not even just used for massage. But seriously, using these, as I'm just kind of, like, using on myself, and I realize I'm, like, the only one who's probably, unless, like, honestly, if you're watching this and you've already got one, because I've sent these out before, please feel free to incorporate these into your morning practice. So using this to just gently massage the fascia. If you don't have one with you, that's okay. Just use your fingers. And so again, just before we jump into the chakra practice, meditation, just giving yourself a little bit of massage. Massaging that pulmonary. These work great on the pulmonary. Oh, I can really get in deep with those. Those look great on the shoulder blades. Beautiful. So again, that can continue for as long as you want. Give yourself use it like a bar of soap when you use it. And so before we get into the chakra massage, let's just shake up our body. So get a couple of those in. Dissolving any sort of ego boundary that may tell us that shaking and making noise is weird. But honestly, one thing that I will remind you of is that if you are feeling things emotionally, if you are feeling you're just like trying to get yourself out of a funk and stuff like that, the immediate solution is like somatic exercise, physical body exercise. Honestly, the best exercise that you can do is the exercise that you're doing at that time, you know? So like if that means going for a walk, if that means just getting up and stretching, and at this point just inviting you to stretch, that is the best exercise for you, because it's the best exercise because you're doing it in that moment. So if you ever find yourself where you're just kind of like, oh, you know, I'm feeling a little blue today, know that you always have moves that you can make, that there's always ways to be able to help alleviate and move that energy. And one of those ways is physical exercise. So just keep that in mind, that like the power of physical exercise literally just kind of like releases new chemicals into the brain, helps move energy through our body, makes us feel good. So again, just really shaking that up. And this is a beautiful way to be able to start off your day. So get those deep breaths in there. Do a few more of those. Just shake it up a little bit more. Stretching in whatever way that feels right for you. Nice and gentle. Beautiful. And when you're ready, bring your hands down to heart center. And we'll just take a moment here to just be able to connect with our breath. Again, when we do this practice, we use it as an opportunity to fill our cups with peace. So there is an infinite amount of abundance and love and peace that the universe has ready to share with us. We just have to be willing to kind of like hold out our cup and be like, please, sir, I want some more. More peace, please. More serenity. And the universe is like, yes, here it is. So, hands on your heart if you want to. Hands gently down on your laps if you want to. Closing your eyes, straighten up your spine. Connecting with the breath. In this moment, as you breathe in, as if you're breathing in that serenity, breathe in that peace, feel that calmness. Then exhale, recycling any of the energy left over, perhaps from yesterday. Bringing fresh energy into our body. Again, deep inhales at your own pace. Take a few more moments here, connecting with that stillness, feeling what this feels like for you, allowing your focus to be on your breath. Release any thoughts of yesterday, release any thoughts of what you got planned for your day ahead. Simply just be in your breath. Use your breath as a tool, anchor in to being able to receive the gift of the peace in this present moment. A few more breaths here. Notice this natural state of your being, one that too often than not we will go long times without returning to, but know you can return to it. This is a similar feeling, literally in just creating our own stillness, a similar feeling that you'll get if you were to imagine yourself waking up at sunrise and standing on the edge of a lake and there's like the mist on the lake, and the air is a little bit crisp, and you can see like the ducks flying through the air. The sun's just starting to come up, the clouds are forming, the sky is beautiful colors, the trees are standing tall around you. You can breathe in the smell of nature. You bring that same feeling of peace that nature holds into yourself. You are that calm lake sunrise. It is inside of you at all times. Beautiful. So just take another deep breath here. Big exhale. Nice and gentle. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll gently move into the chakra practice meditation. Again, keeping this broadcast within about 30 minutes, just honoring the time. But of course, if you can do this longer, that's wonderful. Every time that we do this chakra meditation, this is an exercise. This is a chance for us to be able to flex our spiritual muscles, to be able to develop our spiritual virtues, and to be able to help open up our spiritual faculties. Yes, the fact is that we do have more than the regular five senses. And each chakra is an organ of perception linked to the etheric body, to the astral body, and to the mental body, connecting to the physical body. So the etheric body, the mental body, the astral body, this is a part of us that kind of exists outside of this present moment. It exists in the fifth dimension, if you want to call it that. It exists beyond linear time. And that is why when we connect with our chakras, essentially, this is a very powerful idea I'll share with you. Essentially, the chakras are receiving information from the future and also from the past. And that's why the chakras are correlated with sensations such as intuition and clairvoyance and clairaudience and inspiration. Because oftentimes that is literally those fifth dimensional aspects of information coming into our being. And we can integrate those. We can allow that to be a part of the conversation that we're having with the universe. And when we open up to that conversation in a connected, clear way, it allows us to step into more of our path as individuals, to be able to step into our path being of service for others. It's a very, very beautiful, powerful idea. So let us set that intention that the reason we're doing this is so that we can continue to show up for the bigger story. So let's move into the chakras. Again, we're working, starting off with the third eye, down to the roots, adding in the pulmonary chakras. Just to clarify, the crown chakra within this practice, this is through the Gnostic teachings. This is, again, linking together the teachings from all across the ages. The crown chakra is not worked with directly through this practice. The crown chakra is like a culminating chakra that you put on as the other chakras continue to activate. So within this practice, we start with the brow and we move our way down to the root. Each chakra has a correlating mantra associated with it. The sound vibration of the mantra moves and spins the disc, moves the chakra. As it spins, it helps clear the dirt. As we align our intentions, it helps us move into more clarity as to who it is that we are choosing to be. So who do you choose to be? The simple answer to that, as I would say, and I hope all of you do as well, is to be our best self, whatever that may look like. So thank you for showing up to this practice, giving yourself that gift. So let's start with the third eye chakra, the brow chakra. This is, again, related to the faculty of clairvoyance and also the vowel I, as in ski. So this is the sound E. And again, what we can do is gently just put our hands down on our lap, straighten up our spine. And the virtue related to this is the virtue of serenity. So just simply being in peace. So if you want to just kind of go back to the thought of being on that crisp lake sunrise, allow that serenity to be felt in your heart. And together with a deep inhale, we will begin with E, and we'll do that 3 times. Gentle inhale. Again, inhale. Together again. E. Beautiful. As we move through the chakras, even taking observation to notice any sort of tingling vibrational senses as we do the mantras, you should literally be able to feel that part of your body as we do each mantra. So moving next into the throat chakra, focusing on the faculty of clairaudience. This is about being able to not only hear but also speak, to be able to give and receive. Very powerful chakra. We literally create worlds with words. Think about the power of the voice. When you look at all the stories of creation, you will notice that oftentimes it is the voice that brings things into creation. So be aware of what you are creating with your voice. And when you're in a place of clarity, you will find that the voice will come naturally. Spirit will kind of speak through you, yet it's still you. It's a very mysterious and powerful and beautiful thing. This is a vowel E, pronounced as in way, so it would be the sound A. And this is focusing on the virtue of justness. So again, this is about being able to speak our truth, being able to understand when action is needed, and when patience and also inaction and listening is needed as well. So divine timing can be thought of as one way in relation to justness. Hand gently down on your waist, on your hip, wherever you're comfortable with them. Closing your eyes. Together again, we'll take an inhale, then A. So deep inhale. Again, inhale, relax your face. Together again, inhale. Beautiful. Wonderful. Continuing to move into the next chakra, focusing on the heart chakra. This is the vowel O, pronounced as in snow. So O. Again, obviously with this one, focusing on the virtue of love and noticing that the faculty associated with this is inspiration and also intuition as well. So a lot of information coming in through the heart chakra. Again, when we can understand how to use these chakras, it totally just changes the way that we can move through this reality. You know, you move throughout your day and you'll notice your intuition. In the same way you can look at something and see it clearly with your eyes, you can also feel that clearly with your own intuition as you develop your relationship with your intuition. So focusing on the virtue of love, putting your hands on your heart if you want to, and again, sending so much love, not just to yourself, but to others, to all of those, bringing the attention back to the breath, bringing the virtues back to self-love, knowing that through loving ourselves, through that healing ourselves, we literally heal the world. So together, seeing yourself as your own beloved, with a deep inhale and then O together. Inhale. O. Together again. Inhale. Once more. Deep inhale, fill your lungs. Big exhale. Moving down next into the solar chakra, focusing on the vowel U as in blue, with the virtue related to telepathy. Oftentimes I like to think of this as telepathy as well, and the virtue of temperance. Again, temperance about being able to have control over our impulses, being able to take only what we need, being able to notice when we're overindulging, developing habits of moderation. And again, there's so much conversation related to this, but invite love into your space, into your being, when you notice yourself being tempted with temperance. So when you notice those impulses come up, again, those impulses are also an invitation for you to practice temperance and to practice moderation. Oftentimes, the solution to developing temperance is to be able to still make sure that we are still rewarding ourselves. So, for example, if you're just like, I'm never eating chocolate again, by all means, if that's true to you, go for it. But there will be a part of you that you will notice will kind of rise, and it'll be like, yeah, I really want some chocolate, just not a lot, just a little. And then sometimes it can be healthy for us to make sure that we reward ourselves, to be able to just give ourselves a little bit of chocolate, have that temperance, and then just from that, the spirit is just like, oh, okay, that's all I needed, just a little taste, didn't need a lot, just a little. So it's, again, being able to understand what it is that we need, and being able to find healthy ways to be able to balance that, and to be able to create good habits of moderation without punishing ourselves in that sense. Instead, rewarding ourselves for our temperance. Moving into that space, hands gently on your solar chakra, the vowel U, pronounced as in blue, ooh. Deep inhales together, closing your eyes, straightening up your spine. Again, deep inhale. Once more, inhale. Good. Continuing to breathe. Another thing related to temperance, and this was coming through me as I was just practicing this myself, another thing that we need to think about related to temperance is also in relation to where we're putting our focus. Oftentimes, as creators, we have a tendency in this busy day and age to try and focus on multiple things at once. And yet, when we develop temperance with our focus, we will find that we're actually able to give the love that is required to perhaps even one thing at a time in order to be able to succeed in the long run. So for all the entrepreneurs out there, and I'm saying this to myself, be aware, you may find yourself struggling in getting ahead, and that may be because you're focusing on too many things at once. And so figure out where you can kind of not give up, but rather just kind of shift your focus to be able to give your focus to one thing at a time. And can you practice that? Use that as a practice of temperance and really do that as a practice of self-love. And again, this is something I've been learning for myself. You know, it's just like you try and do everything and you're trying to get ahead, but you'll find that by trying to do everything, nothing succeeds. And not to say it's always going to be nothing succeed. You're still learning, you're still growing. But in order to really be able to serve the bigger vision, what you want to be able to do is find that one thing to focus on first. That will help create the foundation, and then you build on the other things. The universe is a very patient thing, and you do not need to rush through things. We think we need to rush through things, but sometimes it is the rush that teaches us how to be patient. So just reflect on that. Again, temperance in relation to being able to moderate the amount of things that we are focusing on in our life at one time. Because if you're focusing on too many things, some of them are going to fall. Some of them are going to slip through your grip, and that's nothing against your capacity. That's just the nature of our existence. So find the things that you can focus on, the things you need to focus on first, the things that will help give you the stability, the foundation, and then you start moving into the other things. This is a very important idea. Can you afford to be focusing on those other things? Some of those things might be, not to say bonus, but they're just, you're not ready to be able to You can't afford to be able to put your focus on them just yet. But once you focus on a couple things first and you build up that stability, then you can literally afford to focus on that next thing. So do that as an act of love for whatever it is you're creating. Your individual creative projects, your entrepreneurship, your relationships. So again, even as an obvious thing, sometimes we'll rush into a relationship and we'll be focusing on the relationship, but when we're doing that, we're not fully focusing on ourselves. And so in relation to the story of Valentine's Day, what we were talking about, sometimes the best thing that you can do, always the best thing that you can do, is to focus on yourself. Focusing on yourself is always going to be the right move. And then as you focus on yourself, then you can afford to focus on the other things. And then you move forward from there. So let's move into the next chakra. This is the pulmonary chakras. Again, we're just going to keep going through these, and we will wrap this up very shortly. And it looks like we just lost the feed to YouTube. So Instagram family, it's just us right now. So again, I feel like I just want to repeat everything that we just said today because it was really important. But again, just being able to focus one thing at a time, having temperance, being able to focus on our heart, being able to focus on our voice. So let's focus now on the pulmonary chakras, one chakra at a time. So the pulmonary chakras are, again, the chakras that we don't often usually get taught about. Not too often. These chakras right here kind of in our shoulder blades relate to ultra memory, relate to our past lives in a sense. So you can use this as an opportunity to literally connect with the roots of your ancestors. And this again, anchor in all of the other chakras as you move through this. Use your heart to think back on your ancestors, to think back on what has brought you to this point. We're so here in this present moment that we forget to just be able to understand the bigger story that we're a part of. So inviting you to close your eyes, and I want you to be able to think not just of your ancestors, but also for the future. 7 generations back, 7 generations ahead. You are just one part of a bigger story, and yet you are equally important. You are equally beautiful. So thank you for being here. And on behalf of the universe, I like you a lot. So gently breathing into our hearts, into our lungs, and the vowel for this is the vowel A, pronounced as in saw, so ah. And with our eyes closed, we'll move into this together. Deep inhale. Ah. Again, deep inhale. Once more, sending lots of love in both directions, roots and branches. Beautiful. Straightening up the spine here, just giving yourself a little bit of a shake if you need to. Get some big exhales going. Moving into the next chakra, focusing on everyone's favorite chakra, the sacral chakra. That's right. Related to the faculties of astral projection and also the virtue of chastity. And again, thinking about chastity in relation to what we've already talked about, in relation to temperance. Chastity is not quite the way that we think about it, where it's saying hey, don't have sex, don't connect with yourself and everything like that, but just be able to understand the importance of that sexual energy, how it can be transmuted into other creative aspects of our life, and to give yourself that gift. This is a very powerful image. Oftentimes in relation to chastity, in relation to our own sexual energy, and as I'm saying this, if you just want to massage yourself, that's fine. I just want to be able to communicate this. Oftentimes you can imagine that we're walking down a hallway and then we see a little candy on the ground, and that candy is delicious and it looks so good and it is so tempting and we know what it tastes like, And that candy is a metaphor for your orgasm, your sexual indulgence. Again, not indulgence in a negative way, just you moving into that space. And we want to eat it, and we eat it, and nom, 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 nom. And it's delicious. And we're like, oh, that was so good. That was so good. I love that. I love eating that chocolate. Or whatever it is, a little candy. And then from there, we turn around, and we walk back down the hallway, and we do what we want to do, and then a week later, we come back, or a day later, we come back, and we see that same candy on the ground, and we eat it. This is a story that can be repeated. The alternative to this story is when you walk past that candy, and you keep walking further down the hall, eventually you will get to the point that if you turn around a corner, you will discover an entire pile of that candy. And so just know that that is there, and that pile of candy is not just the sexual pleasure, but it is the awakening of our astral body. It is the awakening of our consciousness. It is the birthright for us to be able to experience states beyond this physical dimension. And so for all of us who are just like, yeah, like I want to know what experiences are like outside the body. I want to be able to remember my dreams. I want to be able to talk with like the Arcturian Council in some sort of other part of the galaxy. The way to get there is by leaving that chocolate, walking down the hall, and knowing that that pile is around the corner. So understand that. And again, and also related to chastity, this is about us really checking in with ourselves. Who do we want to be? Who do we want to be in terms of how we show up? How we show up for ourselves, how we show up into relationships. And I think deep down in our heart, every single one of us wants to be loyal, wants to be a good partner, wants to be able to honor what it is that we seek in a relationship and to be worthy of receiving that as well. And yet, chastity is only developed through the challenge that is presented with it. It's the stresses that build the muscle. So again, sometimes we must learn sometimes the only way to learn how to be loyal is to be disloyal. The only way to learn how to be trusting is to be untrusting. The only way to learn how to believe in yourself is by not believing in yourself. And so when you develop this practice with the chakras, you understand that your past is your past, but it does not define who you are. And listen deep inside of your heart and know who it is that you want to be, and see your path as all the things that you needed to be able to point you in the direction of who it is that you are here to be. And so you in yourself, you have that purity. You have that degree of chastity. You have that degree of loyalty. It is inside of you. Call that into this present moment. Create that through this practice. Understand that the stresses are actually what build the muscle, so long as we have the intention, so long as we have the clarity of that story. So really honor that. Release any shame. Again, this is such a powerful thing related to the sacral energy. Release shame. The past is the past. Learn from it and get clarity as to how it is helping you decide who you will be moving forward. So again, straightening up the spine, moving into this, and then we have one more chakra with the root chakra, patience, chastity, focusing on the vowel M as in and allow this to also connect to the faculty of astral projection, knowing that through the cultivation of the sexual energies, we rise that fluid up through our body, moving the energy into more of our creative potential, into more of our willpower. Again, if you want to be able to make the best of your life, cultivate your sexual energy, and that will help strengthen your willpower. It's a very, very powerful thing. And it must be learned through direct experience. My words alone are not the be-all, end-all. Your direct experience is your truth. Straightening up the spine. Deep breath here. Let's just do one breath just simply on its own, and then we'll go into the mantra. And focusing on chastity, focusing on purity, and being able to honor the relationship that we have with our sexual energy and the power of it. So just another breath here. And together, inhale. Again, inhale. Once more, deep inhale. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Again, reminding you that, yes, I'm happy to hold this space for you, but you're here for yourself and what you can bring to those who you connect with throughout your day. Fill your peace with cup and you can share it with others. Fill your cup with peace. Fill your peace with cup. Sure, whatever. Be the cup. You are the water. Okay, last chakra for today. Root chakra. Patience. Connecting with our roots. Connecting with that stability. Connecting with our strength. This is about also a deep trust in the universe, in the process, in how things are unfolding. So can you trust the universe? And not just trust how things can unfold, but also trust your own ability to be able to intuitively develop a relationship with it, to have a communication with it, to check in. How are things feeling? What direction do you want to go in? Something bad happened, but how does that actually help clarify more of what you want? So have that patience. This is a very important thing, and then we'll move right into it. Be willing to slow down and listen. So important. I've said this before, but I'll just say it again. Oftentimes, if we simply slow down and listen before moving into a big decision, before reacting, there is an answer that will come through us. There is a choice that will be made. It might not be fully clear, but we'll hear it within our heart. And it may be the opposite of what our initial impulse was. And that will often lead us in the better direction. Whereas if we act on reaction, sometimes we'll move into a situation and we'll realize, hey, this wasn't quite what I wanted, and then we have to backpedal. So listen, the truth and the answers are inside of you. All you have to do is have the patience to slow down and listen. And again, this correlates to all the other chakras. So when you open up all these other faculties and you move into that place of your root and you're in your patience, you can use the intuition, the empathy, the telepathy, the clairaudience to be able to be like, okay, checking in with my spirit who actually is like beyond this present moment. What is it that I need to do next? Okay. And then you listen and you listen. And the voice will come to you. And it's not just a voice, it's a feeling. So again, moving into the root chakra, focusing on patience, this is the vowel S, like the sizzling of the fire or the rising of the serpent snake. Closing your eyes, honoring the fact that you have been patient today simply by being able to practice this in this moment, creating space for this practice. Deep inhale together and moving into it. Again, inhale. Once more, inhale. And then just take 2 more breaths here. Again, being in that place of serenity, patience, calmness, filling your cup with peace. Beautiful. And allow this feeling of the breath to be something that you can return to at any point during the day. Awesome. So thanking everyone again for showing up for this practice. We will be continuing this practice next week, again, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's been an honor to be able to do this with you. I've been noticing the benefits, being able to do this, finding myself just more in a place of creative flow, finding myself able to make the decisions that I need to, finding myself just being able to listen more, being able to open up more into my dream space as well. So I am grateful to be able to not only receive this, but to also be able to share this gift with you and reminding you that you can do this chakra practice at any point throughout the day. If you can do it for an hour, that's great. but doing it just for this practice alone is beautiful. And I know this broadcast went a little bit longer, so bonus points to those of you who tuned in at the end of it. If you did watch this in the future or even in the present moment, please feel free to send me a message of gratitude. Just send me an emoticon. Let me know that you saw it. I always appreciate being able to know who I am connecting with. Let me know, how has this practice been for you? And again, inviting you to return to this practice next week, even doing it over the weekend if you want. Allow yourself to be able to receive the benefit of it. So here we go again. Just shake up the body. It's a Friday. Be sure to reward yourself. Get out there. Do something fun. You've accomplished a lot this week. Simply by being here, you have accomplished a lot. Everything that is unfolding is exactly what it needs to. You are the co-creator of this universe. You are meeting the universe halfway. It is not just about being passive, but it is also about being proactive and being able to be proactive in a centered space. So, have an awesome time this weekend. Go do something that you enjoy. Reward yourself. This has been another beautiful week, another amazing opportunity here on Earth. Each and every single breath is literally a gift. And of course, be sure to check out more at ParadigmShiftCentral.com. I'm going to be putting up a post today about the chakras so that you can screenshot that, save it in your phone, then you'll be able to use it for yourself. Send me a DM if you want to do that. As always, thank you to those of you who support with donations, monthly contributions, purchases from the Quest item shop. That is a great way to be able to help support the energy that goes into me being able to afford to show up to do this for you. So if you want to be able to contribute a monthly donation of even just a few dollars, send me a DM and I'll send you a link for that. And in return, you will also get a special discount promo code for the Quest item shop so that you can get some of your item gear, including the shift buttons and, of course, the exclusive Light Guardian crystals as well. And as always, you can check out more at youtube.com/SkullBabylon. Share this with your friends. You can share it directly with them. Give this to them as a gift. Invite them to be able to be like, hey, I've been doing this practice with this really, really awesome person. You're an awesome person too. And please feel free to check it out. So share this forward. And again, continue to be the shift that you wish to see. Continue to be the love that you wish to see. Sending you so much love, so much blessing. Super grateful to be able to be in this space together and just opening up into all the potential that is still coming our way. So until next time, this is Wolf. This has been Waking Up with Wolf. Thank you so much. Keep it shifty. And as always, I will see you in the future. Much love, peace, and wholeness. You got this.